You don't have any comments?
Huh?
You don't have any comments?
You want me to make comments?
Make a comment.
Oh, I didn't know. I just thought maybe folks would be interested in what we are considering. I mean, I've said that there are going to be two big things done in the legislature this year. And that's it. One of them is the budget, which we have to do, and the other will be redistricting, which will control politics in Iowa for the next 10 years.
And that's the first draft, and we do have to act on that?
This is the first draft, and we may act on it.
May act, yes.
Either Wednesday or Thursday.
Thursday, I think, is the first
Thursday
day
of next week.
by code.
Is the first day we may act on it.
So what are the general feelings down there about it? I see you picked up, you would have picked up another county in your district.
Right. The district that we're in becomes a very long district that includes in the north Buena Vista, south to Sac County, then south to Carroll and the eastern part of Crawford, and then south including all of Audubon County. So you can see it's a rather long, narrow district. Probably runs by driving time 2 hours from north to south, or maybe not quite, but somewhere in that range, depending on whether you obey the speed limit or not, sure. Yeah. So that's what we're dealing. I mean, Gary's is the north half of my district. His house district is Buena Vista and Sac County, and then Dan Molar would be the south half of the district. He is from down by Manila, and he would have part of Crawford, Carroll, and Audubon County. So that's last Monday, week ago Monday.
This came out?
This came.
No, it was a week ago Thursday.
Week ago Thursday.
Yeah.
Came out, and for everybody in the legislature pretty much lost focus. And you could find them in rooms just sort of gazing at the maps and
Trying to figure out who's in
trying to figure out who's where, and the day was pretty much gone and became every man for themselves. So in our immediate area, a couple things have happened. In the Senate, as you go west from us, Senator Nancy Butker and Senator Jim Seymour, both Republicans. He's from Woodbine, she's from Harlan. We're put in the same district. And then up your way, let's see, it's Roy
Chambers and Dan Huseman.
Dan Huseman.
Sheldon and
Aurelia got put together. And so it's things like that that have to be worked out, and obviously you've got to figure out whether this is a good map for your particular caucus and how you want to vote on it. So the conversations I've been hearing are that people are talking pretty favorably. The difficulty seems to be coming at the congressional level, because this also draws maps for Congress, and it would put Tom Latham and Steve King together in this sort of big district to the north and northwest, and then it would put Congressman Loebsack and Braley together in the northeast, leaving an open seat in the southeast, and then Congressman Boswell would be from Polk County and would have the southwest district. So what I've been hearing is that Tom Latham would probably move from Story County, into Polk County, which would change congressional districts, and then he would run against Congressman Boswell in that new district, number 3, I think it is.
It's down there in the corner.
Yeah, 3.
I looked up the other day too.
I can't keep track of all the new numbers there, and would run there now. Don't know. And then Congressman Loebsack, rather than have a primary with Braley, would move south into the southeast district, the 2nd district, and run there. So I don't know if either of those things are factual, but that's the conversations that are going around, and then the maps would be adopted. And I think probably the vote will be favorable for the maps. I'm hoping it will be favorable for the maps, because that'll put out a big chunk out of what we have to do. If the map was rejected, it would go back to the Legislative Services Agency, and they would be asked to redraw new maps. And that, I believe they have 35 days to do that. So you can see if that happens, we would probably come back in a special session to address the map. So I'm hopeful we'll be able to take the first one, although I know there are meetings starting on Monday that will go into the statistical analysis of these districts as to whether or not everybody from their own bias standpoint would want to accept the maps. We'll just have to see how that all works out, because I don't know yet.
Didn't Senator Johnson and Senator Kibbe end up in the same district too?
Senator Johnson and Senator Kibbe up here in far northwest Iowa would end up in the same district. That one is a heavily Republican district, and I would expect that for a variety of reasons Senator Kibbe would choose not to run.
Maybe ready to retire, right?
He may retire, he might retire, because that would be a very, very, very difficult district for him to run into. The map seems to be pretty balanced. So if you're looking for fairness, it probably has 21 or 22 districts that lean Republican and a similar number that lean Democrat, and then that leaves 6 or 8 districts that would be considered toss-ups, and I'm speaking from the Senate stand. From the Senate side. So it looks pretty balanced. Then that's probably what you look for. If the map favored Democrats too far, Republicans would reject it, and vice versa. If the map favored Republicans too much, Democrats would reject it. So I think this is a pretty fair map, and it's sometimes you'd rather dance with the devil you know than the one you don't know, because there's no assurance that a second map would actually be better for anybody.
But basically, all you did was pick up Ottoman County, and Gary lost the 4 townships in southeastern South County, right?
He picks them up.
You already picked those up.
He picks them up,
yeah. Yeah, but I did.
Yeah.
So I'll have all the BB in Sac County.
Right.
Is what I will have.
So, yeah.
Instead of all the BB and 3/4 of Sac, I'll have all of both.
Yeah,
Well, that's not so bad.
locally it's a pretty favorable map.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
personally we would both be very happy with the drawing of the lines.
Maybe others.
There may be others, yes. So that's one of the things. The other thing, of course, is budget, and that just begins. Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, a couple things on the map. Yeah, it's probably a good map for both Steve and I, and probably for both of our districts. It's still a pretty homogeneous district on both counts, and be well represented by whomever gets elected in the district. The only major problem, major complaint I've heard about the whole map, of course, is it's a congressional map. And as you look at it, you probably can't see it down here in the corner. But, we've got, up here in the northeast corner, we've got Cedar Rapids and Dubuque and so on, and Iowa City, they're all happy being together. Southeast Iowa, they're happy, that's kind of a district that fits pretty well together. Northwest Iowa, not too bad. The big problem comes in Council Bluffs. They get thrown in the same district with Des Moines, and they're not happy about that, because then they get ignored. The population center, of course, is going to be in Polk County, and they feel they've been in that situation before, and so they're not real happy with this map. But how that all shakes out, it'll be interesting to see in the end. In the House, we've got several situations that nobody's real happy with. Roy Chambers, Dan Huthman, both excellent legislators, get thrown into the same district. We've got a district, I'm not sure which one it is, over here in north central Iowa. Well, there's several with nobody. We've got one district, the House Majority Leader, Linda Upmeyer, Henry Ray Hans. Henry's probably been in the legislature 18 years. and Stu Iverson are all in the same district. We've got 3 Republican legislators in the same district. Another one awful close to that, Pat Grassley and Annette Sweeney are both in the same district. Both excellent legislators. Pat came into the legislature at the same time I did, 4 years or 5 years ago, and Annette Sweeney came in 2 years later. And Annette's chairman of the Agriculture Committee, Pat's chairman of Economic Development Committee, Policy Committee. So 2 excellent legislators there. So, you know, we've got those things to work through. You know, everybody's that I've talked to at this point in time is saying, you know, whatever's best for the caucus, whatever's best for the state of Iowa, that's what we're going to go with. And this may be the map that works. We'll know a lot more Thursday. I don't know if we're going to vote on it Thursday or not.
Yeah.
But,